The smile. Read se sapis. Attend, ye tearful train, whose somber stare clouds the bright noon and chills the summer air, whose fretful fancy, torn by transient woes, prolongs the pain, nor grateful sweetness knows. Of trivial shadow born, your doleful mien creates a million shades, where one had been. At dawn, when soft aurora wakes the wold, in curtained room poor Mastus's frown, behold, depressed with grief for his rejected rhymes, he spurns the soothing pleasures of the times, courts the dark midnight, and revels the ray of cheering sunshine that proclaims the day. The verdant vale with orient beams aglow affronts his mood and stimulates his woe, and the fair meadow, gay, joyous, with floral grace, but carves new furrows on his furrowed face. The joys of nature for her son designed perturb the more his barren, brooding mind. He scorns the countless boons the hours provide, whilst weeping o'er the one small boon denied. Austere at last, and pacing down the road, sore Mastus still retains his gloomy load. At friendly blossoms casts an angry look, and mutters curses at the murmuring brook. Besides yon cottage gate a childish throng enjoy the day in sport and happy song. By one black glance the sulker mars their glee, incensed that they should blithe or blissful be. With sneering snarl he gangs the village green, and flings an insult at the peaceful scene. The smiling faces by each humble door perceive his morbid mood and smile no more. The neighboring corpse, where bird-born warbling floats, provokes poor Mastus with the tuneful notes. The light-winged choristers their song suspend, and flee the foe who fears to be their friend. Thus stalks the mourner, whose distressful eye darkens the sun and veils the unclouded sky, seeks out the weeds amongst the garden flowers, in crystal starlight spies the coming showers. Foul calumny with avid ardor learns, and in each virtue hidden ill discerns. His hand no help, his heart no kindness bears, nor striving he to relieve a brother's cares. His own sick soul with melancholy low cares not how many others suffer so. Mankind he shuns, possessed by hatred dim, and man repays the debt by shunning him. Mark now bright Lattice, who at breaking day delights to watch the climbing sunbeams play. Pleased with the glow and grateful for the sight, he cast away the ills of yesternight. With smiling grace the auspicious morning greets, and princes smile on every face he meets. For him the mead with greener splendor spreads, and flowers bloom brighter from their dewy beads. With milder breath the matin zephyr stirs the lowland maples and the mountain firs. The brook with added joy its chorus chants, while shapelier fronds bedeck the fringing plants. At Lattice's tread behold the infant train, distressed by Mastus, all their joy regain. Around the cottage door in gladness vie, and bless their smiling squire with laughing eye. The village throng his sprightly step attend, for every wight knows Lattice as his friend. His beaming glance, by kindly heart endowed, reflected shines from all the circling crowd, nor with indifference is that glance endowed upon his fellows in the travelled road. Solicitude his generous mien pervades, and duke or churl each suffering soul he aids. Deaf to ill rumor, keen to good report, his lenient judgment is the village court, the countryside in his forgiving ear. Their sorrows pour for comfort and for cheer. The cares of all his soothing arts beguile, and from his own they learn a general smile. Hark! From the corpse returning carols ring, as blithesome birds the smiling lattice sing. The chirping chords o'er elm and oak resound, to bless the vale and thrill the rising mound. Above the adjacent moor a cloud ascends, and thunder now the rustic quiet rends. But while poor Mastus shakes in doleful fright, Lattice rejoices in the flashing light. The Olympian Jove behind the thunder sees, and hails the shower that shakes the thirsty trees. Within a glen whose leaf-thatched roof allows a grateful refuge 'neath the bending boughs, in common quest of shelter from the rain, behold a random meeting of the twain. The angry Mastus shakes his dripping cloak, and curses even the protecting oak, observes his soggy hat with withering look, eyes the damp powder on his wet peruke. But as the fretful fool of all things reviles, his happier brother meets his gaze and smiles, thrice potent smile, whose glad, pervasive power lights up the gloom and cheers the rainy hour. The darkest mood dispels, and from the mind wafts the sad image like a summer wind. Unhappy Mastus sees, and over his face the grief-drawn lines unwonted patterns trace. The tight-pressed lips relax, the curling sneer attempts to form, yet seems to disappear. The brows to hold their frown in vain essay, and glaring eyeballs lose their baleful ray. Again kind Lastus, with his cheerful glance, in friendly fashion makes a new advance. With offered aid his hand in greeting lends, while o'er his lips a brighter smile extends. Mastus, perplexed, a saddened accent tries, but ere his sob is born, the sadness dies. Half struggling to the end, he pants a while, then bursts in laughter, conquered by the smile. So, we are given opportunity by what's around us if we notice the pattern. And perhaps where you've had a different response to this opportunity than we could have. But we're given another chance by what produces emotion.